Our next guest is a Tony-nominated and Grammy Award-winning actor you know from Mindhunter, The Matrix Resurrections, and his work on Broadway and Hamilton and Spring Awakening. He stars in the new film Knock at the Cabin, which is in theaters this Friday. Let's take a look.
I don't know what's going on here, but where are the keys to the truck you guys came in? I'm taking my family, and we're leaving.
Do you really think that everything that happened today, everything we've seen, do you really think it's all just a coincidence?
Yes, I think it's all coincidence. Some horrible, unexplainable coincidence. Or it has to be a trick. I have to believe that.
You already don't believe that.
Please welcome back to the show, Jonathan Groff, everybody.
I'm so good. How are you?
It's been too long since you've been here.
I know. I have to tell you that you don't know this, but we spent a lot of COVID together, you and I.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You were like my special friend. I couldn't really watch the news in those first several months.
Yeah, it was a tough time.
I would have a drink and a protein bar, and I would go to my bed, and I would sit and I would watch you, and I can't thank you enough for getting me through that time. You're just the best.
So nice of you to say.
You're just the best.
It was very special knowing that people were protein barring and drinking their way through it with me. So, and then I will say I introduced Frozen to my kids, and that was a very tricky time to have kids, and so I had great love for you that then obviously hit a point, and then it
turned into resentment.
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously it's nice to see you and put a face to you again, but your voice, no.
What are you talking about, Seth?
This is so cool to see you in an M. Night movie, because obviously you've done darker stuff, right? Like Mindhunter, but this is like full horror. Never done it before.
Full, tearful horror.
And
yeah.
Was it, I mean, he must be such an exciting person to work with.
Yeah, I was so excited to get to even audition for him and meet him online, and working with him was amazing. He's incredibly specific. It was incredibly intense in that cabin, but we really had so much fun and kind of formed a little family with our cast. It was
That's
great.
a really cool thing to go through. What do you have, I mean, I feel like I know mine. Do you remember your first like M. Night moment where you're like, oh my God, like a film of his?
I See Dead People.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
so
the
crazy.
one. It's a classic, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Sixth Sense.
It's really amazing that all these years later, he's still a person that you want to go see his film because you remember that first twist being so good.
Yeah, he's one of those few directors where their name alone brings people into the theater. It's pretty cool.
Were you a fan of horror growing up? maybe.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a little bit of an outsider in middle school. I feel like the genre of horror tends to gravitate, as an outsider, I felt like gravitated. For me, it was Scream.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had The Mask. I had like the voice changer.
And you brought it to school? Okay, yeah.
And I would call people and be like, surprise.
Yeah, that's what you're begging for outsider. Once you start Now, how old are your nieces now?
Oh my gosh, they are about to be 8 and 6.
Okay, so this is not, the Knock at the Cabin is not for them.
This is not for them. My parents are seeing it, or they just have seen it, I guess, tonight.
Okay. Oh, exciting.
Which is really exciting. My nieces will not be seeing it, although we did have a really adorable 8-year-old act. She's the exact same age as my niece, the girl.
Who's in the film?
Yes, Ben Aldridge and I play husbands, and Kristen is our daughter, and we loved her so much. She is an extraordinary, extraordinary young girl, and she kills it in the movie, and we took her to see Wicked.
Now, this is pretty exciting, and this was her first Broadway show, correct?
This was her.
Okay.
This was her third Broadway show.
Okay, gotcha.
She'd seen Aladdin and Hamilton, and then this.
She did not see Hamilton. Obviously, she was too young to see.
She was born the year I was in Hamilton. Yeah,
That speaks to what a hit Hamilton is.
That's so true.
That you can be in it, and she can be that old.
And and Wicked, it was 20 years old. So
and so, what did she? What
still
was
hitting, by the way, Wicked.
Okay, great. Still hitting.
It's still hitting.
And now, how long had it been since you'd seen Wicked? Because I imagine there'd been some air there for you, right?
You know, I realized when we brought her that actually I brought her to Wicked so that I could see Wicked again.
Yeah.
That was like the 10th time I'd seen Wicked.
That's great.
Yeah.
And it's still banging.
It's still banging, and I remember waiting at the stage door for Idina's autograph.
Wow.
Yeah, I was in high school.
That's really exciting.
It was very exciting.
Did you get it? Did you succeed?
I didn't get it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you brought this up with her in person since?
I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully she's learned from it. If you walk by anybody with a playbill, just know one day they might make it. Now, what was her? Tell me her name again. I'm sorry.
Kristen.
And Kristen, what was her take on Wicked?
She had some notes.
Very precocious.
Very precocious. She was like, musicals are weird.
Well.
And I was like, they are. She was like, I think I prefer movies to musicals. But then I kept seeing her kind of catching herself laughing.
Yeah.
She's at that kind of precocious 8-year-old age where she's a little resistant, but then I could see her getting transported by the show. It's incredible.
You mentioned your parents are seeing it tonight. Do you have any do they like this genre, or is this a little out of their? Okay. So are you a little worried about, like, scaring the bejesus out of your parents?
My parents have seen my, like, naked butt on Broadway, you know, in Spring Awakening, so watching me, like, cry and talk about the apocalypse. I think they'll be okay comparatively.
Right,
or like with
everything's
Mindhunter,
uphill from Spring Awakenings.
Yes. Or like with like talking to serial killers in Mindhunter. This is like, you know, I think they'll be able to suspend their disbelief. My mom really had to convince my dad to go.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He's not really a movie guy, so I can't wait to hear his review. He's grew up on a dairy farm as a Mennonite, so I'm gonna be interested to see what he thinks of Knight's movie.
And does he shoot straight with his feedback?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he would prefer to be watching football, but
well, there's no game tonight, so
no. I didn't even know that. Yeah.
Now, this is really exciting. It's coming to Broadway. You just did it here off Broadway. Merrily We Roll Along.
Yes.
Very famous Sondheim show. There we go. That's the kind of crowd we bring.
This is, I gotta say, Merrily We Roll Along is a famous flop from 1981.
Famous flop,
yeah.
yeah.
They only ran for like 16 real performances on Broadway. And so the fact that like there's energy about Merrily We Roll Along is so satisfying, even that you applauded for the title. Thank you so much. It's an amazing show, and we were off Broadway at New York Theater Workshop, and we're moving to Broadway this fall. We can't wait.
So I feel like I knew that it was this famous flop, and I did not know and excuse my ignorance, like within people, the community of people like musicals, was it always this sense of like, this deserves another shot, this is way better than it got credit for?
I think it felt like an incredible score. Stephen Sondheim did the music and lyrics, and it was just one of those shows that never quite worked, or people thought it never quite worked. Our director, Maria Friedman, who's based in London and did this 10 years ago in London, directed a production of it. She really believed in the piece, and we're doing it as written, the book and the lyrics, and it went really well off Broadway, so we're excited to bring it to Broadway.
And how long have you been off Broadway yourself? Like, what was the last time? Has it been like longer than you've been here? 6 years, 7 years? What was?
Oh my God, yeah. I did Little Shop of Horrors in 2019. This is the first show I've done since the theater was closed for the pandemic. I could not stop crying throughout rehearsal, it was like me in the clip from the Night movie. I was just always like, about to sing, crying. It was really emotional and felt so amazing to be back. And even to see Wicked, just like, it's still not lost on me, you know, from being like with you on my iPhone at night, drinking alcohol and eating protein bars, to like being on Broadway, seeing theater, being with a live audience here.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'll never forget
I mean, both. Like,
I missed it, yeah.
I mean, it's very exciting to be in front of a live audience. It's very exciting to be in a live audience.
Totally.
Like sitting and watching things again. It is such a, and especially being in the city where I feel like that community, you know, there's so many different places to go out and see that.
And it's the best. Like, New York is the capital of theater, and the best people do their best work here. And yeah, I missed being in the audience just as much, if not more, than I missed being on stage.
And so so when do you go back into rehearsals for Merrily for Broadway? Like, how much time off do you have?
Yeah, we have like 6 or 7 months off.
Okay.
Yeah,
And are you just chomping at the bit to get back at it?
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
When the show would be over off Broadway, Daniel Radcliffe is in the show as well. He's incredible. And Lindsay Mendez, yeah. And Dan, all right. And Dan and I had shared a dressing room off Broadway with Reg Rogers, and I would take off my pants, the costume pants, and I would be like, I just want to put these back on and get back out there. And it was genuine. I'm dying to get back to it.
I am dying to see it. It's so exciting, and it's such a great cast. And again, it's a musical. Like I've said, I've only heard about it, and I'm so excited to finally see it.
You'll let us know if it works.
I will. I'm going to talk to your dad, and I'm going to say, how do you? What are some of the words that he responds to best? Thank you so much for being here. It's always such a pleasure.
Thank you.
You guys.